Shana Tova. Here we are. We're standing at the opening of a new year. And we're all hoping that this year will bring with it blessings and a lot of good. And as we enter into Rosh HaShana, the new year and the high holidays, one of the main things we do on Rosh HaShana, maybe the essence of this holiday, is at that point in davening, during the prayer service, that a shofar is sounded, a ram's horn is sounded, and everybody, you either cover yourself in your talit, or you go deeper into your prayers, you close your eyes, and we hear the sound of the shofar being heard, being blown. A lot of people say to me, what's supposed to happen when I hear the shofar? I know it's an intense part of davening, of prayer. I know it's a powerful time, but what is actually happening there? And the truth is there are so many teachings on what is happening. Some say that it is the sound, the pre-verbal sound of our soul calling out. Some people say that like a shofar is built, that the edge of it is really narrow and it opens up. So too do we pray that from our narrow spaces should we open up to a place of openness. But I want to share one teaching that I find to be very beautiful and very exact. There's a teaching in the Talmud that says that we learn the commandment of blowing a shofar from a very interesting figure, from the mother of Sisra. Sisra was a general of the army of our enemies who fought against the Jewish people in the book of Judges. And there's a story about how he goes to war to fight against the Israelites, and at the end he gets killed. And at the end of this story, one of the images is the mother of Sisra standing in the window and crying. The word in Hebrew is vatayabev. And that sound of a cry, from her we learn this amazing, deep commandment of blowing a shofar. And everybody says, what? You'd think we learn the sound of shofar from one of our matriarchs, from one of the righteous people. The Bible is filled with them. Why is it that we learn the most important part of one of the holiest holidays of the year from the mother of one of our enemies? And it's a very good question. So here's an idea that I heard that I would love to share with you. You know, why is the mother of Sisra crying? Obviously she's crying because she lost her son. That's one form of loss. A deep loss of losing somebody from your family, that mourning. That is a deep call and a deep cry. But there's more to this, and I want to take you a little bit deeper. What is the name of the mother of Sisra? Nobody knows. Where is she from? Nobody knows. What does she do with her life? Nobody knows. Do we know anything about her? The only thing we know about her is that she's the mother of Sisra. I don't know if you know people like that. You'll meet them and say, who are you? Oh, I'm the mother of so-and-so. I'm the father of so-and-so. I'm the son of this important person. I'm the friend of this guy who's really important. I once met a celebrity, and I walked down the street and I saw such and such. We tend to identify ourselves with things happening around us. And if we go back to the mother of Sisra, she's standing at the window crying because she just found out that her son died in battle. And her whole life, whenever anybody asked her who she is, she just said that she's the mother of Sisra. And suddenly she's standing at the window, weeping, crying from the deepest place in her soul, because she realized that her whole life she's identified herself with somebody else, and that somebody else isn't coming back anymore. What a heartbreaking moment that is for her. The moment she realizes that who she thought she was her whole life is nothing more than a facade, nothing more than part of her persona, nothing more than a mask that is shattered and left her opened, wounded, vulnerable, not knowing who she is. You want to know what to think about during the call of the shofar? Here's what the Talmud is trying to teach us. At the moment the shofar is being sounded, close your eyes and say, who am I? Beyond who I'm the father of, and who I'm the son of, and who I'm the brother of, and what group I belong to, and what my hobbies are, and what my profession is. All those things are wonderful questions. Ask them later. On Rosh HaShana, as we stand in front of God, as we justify our existence on the day that man was created, on the day that we celebrate the creation of all of the world, we ask ourselves, who am I? Regardless of all the deep, beautiful connections we have in our life. For one moment, ask yourself, who am I? Just when I stand in front of God, without any of my masks, with any of the connections that I have. Just who am I? And that's a very difficult, heartbreaking question to ask. But when we truly ask it that, and we find that place inside of us, then suddenly creation is able to restart itself. Creation is able to exist, because creation begins with each person finding his or her place within this beautiful story of God's that we're all created in, that we all exist in, that we are all constantly creating in this beautiful world that is revealing itself to us every year again and again. And in a way, one of the things that we say in Rosh HaShana is zichronot. It's one of these words that we always say, memories. God, you know everything, you remember everything. And we think that God is the one who needs to be reminded. But the truth is, God remembers everything. But we, human beings, we are so forgetful. We forget things so quickly. How many promises have we made to ourselves this year that now we stand and say, I forgot that so easily. I swore to myself that I would do this. I promised that I would live this way. But then life swallows us up and we tend to forget. So we are the ones who are trying to truly remember who we are and what are the promises we made to ourselves, to the people around us, and to this beautiful world we live in. And if we all stand up for that 1 second as we hear the shofar, I promise you this world will be a much more beautiful, much more pleasant, much more magnificent place. And I bless us all that we should reconnect to that place, to our dreams, and we should share that vision with everybody around us. Shana Tova Umetuka. Shana Tova.